Donkey Kong 64. I just completed the game 101%, and it is home to some of my favorite areas, my favorite worlds that I've ever experienced in a game. However, it might just also be home to some of my least favorite as well. We're going to dive into that today. We're going to be ranking and putting all of the worlds in Donkey Kong 64 into this tier list. But before we do that, again, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It helps channels like me out so much, and it takes very little effort, and it helps us out very much. Now, I'm not going to be ranking DK Isle in this list just because I have a very hard time comparing it to the other worlds of the game, but in summation, I really like DK Isle. It's not anything super crazy, but the music is incredible, and it does a great job of connecting the areas, connecting the overarching world to the rest of the game. So I really do like DK Isle. It's a very great hub world, and I enjoy it very much. Now, let's get on to the 8 core worlds we have in the game. And the first one that we have is Jungle Japes. Jungle Japes is going to go in A. I really like how Jungle Japes is laid out. You could argue that it's very linear, and I could agree with that, and that might be one of the reasons I really like it. It's a very great, not really introductory world, but you know, it feels like it, right? It's your first soiree into this grand adventure you're about to go on, and it does a very good job at introducing you. You're rescuing Diddy Kong, obviously, getting used to shooting your gun, getting used to traversing and the 3D platforming and how the game feels overall. It does a very good job at throwing you in and dropping you into this world, into this quest that you are about to go on. So Jungle Japes goes in A. I really, really like this world a lot. It's, again, not anything super crazy special, which is why it doesn't go in S, but it's a very solid introductory world. Next, we have Angry Aztec. Now, in my opinion, again, this is all my opinion, Angry Aztec is going to go in B tier. Although I really do like Angry Aztec. There's just a couple things that really bring it down. But before we get to that, some of the things I think it does really well, because positive reinforcement is important. I love the music of Angry Aztec. It might be, I'm kind of going in between that and Frantic Factory, but man, the overworld theme of Angry Aztec is so good, so catchy. I catch myself whistling it constantly. It's a fantastic world, a fantastic tune. I like the way it's laid out once again. It's got sort of a linear vibe, but it's starting to sprinkle in some more quasi open world elements. I really like Angry Aztec. The things that bring it down though: A, the beetle race with Tiny, atrocious minigame. Can't believe they locked a golden banana behind that. Thought it was awful. And the other thing is doing all of the stuff with Diddy Kong's jetpack. This challenge wasn't super difficult going against the bird, whatever kind of bird it was, but man, anything to do with this jetpack in this game to me just loses points. It controls horribly. It was an okay idea, you know, but man, it did not work well in the slightest to me at all. But, you know, it is what it is. Very solid second world. And these are sort of out of order, but it doesn't matter. Third, Frantic Factory goes in S. Now, I still do have a couple of pretty major issues with this world, but it is awesome. The world is laid out very well. Again, kind of like I said in my last video, I am still getting confused by the layout. There are just a lot of hallways that look very similar. They're actually the same, but they're just different hallways, obviously. A lot of the mini games are a lot of fun. All of the Kongs are showcased very well here, because this is where, again, you rescue Chunky Kong. So our 5 Kong ensemble is finally together. You know, it's put together finally, and you can really feel that. Chunky has a lot to do here. Lanky, Diddy, Donkey, Tiny, they all have a lot to do in this world, and it very much made me happy that they were all included like that. The vibes are perfect. The lighting is awesome. Kind of like I said in my last video, this is one of the big reasons the N64 needed the expansion pack, is because this world had such dynamic lighting, and a lot of the worlds did. It's a very good looking game even for its time. But the big problem with this world, and you know exactly what I'm going to say, is not only locking a golden banana behind beating the original Donkey Kong game, but locking the Nintendo coin behind beating the original Donkey Kong arcade game. You can't beat the game without the Nintendo coin, and I think that is insanity. If they would have made it so you can't 101% the game without a Nintendo coin, 100% fine. I would have zero issues with that. But the fact that you need it to beat the game is just, that is really bizarre to me, and I think that is not great. Like, that is, you can't get the final boss key without it, and that to me is just, I will say it is bad game design. Now, I didn't have a really super hard time with it because I've played the Donkey Kong arcade games so many times through in my life, and so it didn't take me a horribly long time, but I shouldn't have had to beat it, you know, and people who aren't good at it, I mean, that sounds mean, but it's true. You shouldn't have to do that, and I think that's very odd, very strange choice. Yeah, you know what? It was fine, but I'm not going to let that tarnish it too much. It still goes an S. Fantastic third world in this game. Next one we have is Gloomy Gallion. Now, this one is interesting because it's actually gone up since I've played it. Originally, I probably would have put it in C, but now I think I'm going to put it in B, and not just in B. I think I'm going to put it in front of Angry Aztec. It really has gotten better. Now, the issues are still there. The swimming water controls are awful. It's the obligatory water world that every game from this era needed, right? Every game, especially in the N64, Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, Banjo-Kazooie, every game needed a water world. And this is this game's water world. And it wasn't bad. Like I said in my last video, I really like the layout of the map, how one end of the map is the lighthouse area, the other end of the map is the big open water area with the crash ship and all of, like, you know, the torture chamber rooms, I guess you could call them, for each Kong specifically. I really liked it. I liked the layout. I really liked the music. A lot of the mini games were fun. Every Kong was used well again, but it just does lose a lot of points for just the water mechanics and the swimming and everything, and that's natural, you know, it's gonna happen with a game of this era, and again, every game has that world, but I didn't have a bad time with it. I disliked it quite heavily after I finished it, but I went back and I was like, you know what? I think I was definitely too hard on this world. I would definitely say it is a good world. It's not a bad world, it's not a great world, but it's definitely a good one. Next we have Fungi Forest. Now this might upset some people, and I'm very sorry. If it does, I'm not actually sorry, it's my opinion. Fungi Forest goes in C. I am very, very conflicted because I kind of wanted to put it in D, but I put my petty grievances aside and I put it in C. Now, Justin, what is the big problem with Fungi Forest? How could you possibly put it in C? Well, 3 words. Day-night cycle. This mechanic is horrible. It's rancid. I talked about it in my previous video. This world could have been the best. The music is great. The visuals are spectacular. It feels like a Banjo-Kazooie world, very much so. The traversal was fun. All of the Kongs kind of being called and doing their own thing. It's a great world visually, and it fits in rather well. And I like the giant mushroom, and I like, you know, the barn. It just feels fun. It feels like a homestead, in a distant Midwestern town. That day-night cycle was just awful. I talked about this story in my last video, but I got all the way to like the end of the map, and I tried to activate a Diddy Kong panel with his guitar, and nothing was happening. I was like, what's going on? So I went on my Discord, and I talked to one of my friends, Silver, join the Discord, link in the description as well as the comments, and he's like, oh, you have to activate that panel when it's nighttime. There was zero indicator or anything in the game telling you that it had to be nighttime for that to work. And so I had to backtrack very much. I had to backtrack so many times in this level just because I got so far, couldn't get any further without it being daytime. And then I'd get through, oh, it's got to be nighttime to keep going, so I got to go back, change it to nighttime. Awful. Terrible mechanic that really ruined this world. This world could have been an easy A tier, and it would have been. But that single thing just really rubbed me the wrong way. And I could be just, barking at nothing. But it's my opinion. I really did not enjoy the day-night mechanic in this world at all. Next, we have Crystal Caves. Now, this world actually goes after Fungi Forest. I feel like I'm not meaning to be negative. I do like a lot of these worlds very much, as you will see later. But Crystal Caves, yes, it's worse than Fungi Forest. I think it is. The layout of this world, I've talked about it. I know Super Joe Bros has talked about it. The layout of this world is complete nonsense, and the fact that it's called Crystal Caves, and there is a alarmingly low amount of crystals in this cave. Super bizarre. I don't know why they call it. I don't know why they call it like the damp darkness or something. Just something else, because there's like 5 crystals in this entire world, it feels like. But anyway, the layout is complete and utter gibberish. It's very hard to figure out where to go. I finished the world 101%, and I still had no idea where I was going. If I couldn't see candies or I couldn't see Craigie, I had no idea where I was. There's like 6 waterfalls that all look the same. There's a lot of water. There's a big enemy that's making crystals fall from the ceiling and hit you and knock you down all the way down the cliff into the water below. And then you have to swim and just hope that you find an area in the land that's low enough to jump onto. Really, just not a good world at all. And, you know, I'm very tempted to put it in D, but I'm not going to. I don't think any world in this game deserves D tier, but Crystal Caves comes awfully close. Now, we get to Creepy Castle, which I'm very thrilled to say gets the second S tier in this game. Creepy Castle, it could get S tier just for the vibes and the music alone. The Halloween theming, it's super creepy, it's in the name, it's spooky, it's fun to explore. It is very linear, which is my favorite part of this game, and part of why I'm enjoying Banjo-Kazooie so much is because it is sort of linear, at least to me. I'll definitely be making videos on Banjo-Kazooie eventually, don't worry. But yeah, Creepy Castle, the music, the atmosphere, everything about it, there's new enemies introduced that match the aesthetic, that match the theme of the overarching world. What an incredible world design. And as I was playing through it, I was like, this might be better than Factory, but I think the music in Factory just puts it a little bit over. And I think there's like 2 or maybe even 3 instances of Beer Bother and Castle, which is horrendous. Super mean on the developer side, but you know, whatever. I try not to let the mini games influence my scoring too much, but it definitely is going to have an impact. But yeah, not much complaining I can do about Creepy Castle. It is a fantastic showcase of not only what the N64 is capable of, but what the developers and the creatives behind this game were capable of. It was really, really fun, and I had a thoroughly entertaining time playing through it. I have really no notes, neither for that or for Frantic Factory. And now we get on to the final world in the game, and that is Hideout Helm. Now, I have a hard time with this one because it is very short. It is, to me, it's not even really a full quote-unquote world because there are no regular bananas. There are no golden bananas. There's only 2 fairies, the boss key, and then the banana token, banana coin, whatever you want to call it, that you have to get for each Kong to shut down the power. And so from a certain point of view, it is a world, but for me, it just isn't super a world, I guess. But this one is going to go in B as well, but it's going to go at the top of B. Before Angry Aztec and before Gloomy Gallion, a very healthy top of C rank. For what it is, it's very fun. I thought jumping into the barrels, it was kind of tedious. I got about halfway through and I'm like, wow, I still have to do this 5 more times. Having 2 per Kong, it was fine. None of the games are super challenging at all. For what it is, it's very fun, and it really sets in the tone of that you are truly about to go head-to-head with K. Rool. Not like you did in DKC or DKC 2 or 3. You are about to fight him in the 3rd dimension, right? And that boss fight, again, I talked about it in my last video. Such a thrilling climax to the game. There's not a better way that they could have ended that game, truly. Yeah, Hideout Helm was fun. The music was good. I liked, the mechanic was actually fun. How each Kong had their own dedicated room to get their coin. It felt like the Kongs were going on this journey, like, at once. This was the big time in the game where I felt that Donkey and Diddy and Lanky and Tiny and Chunky were all going through this together and working together, and that carried over to the boss fight. And I thought that worked really well because at the end of the day, it was. This is their quest, right? To take down K. Rool, save DK Isle. So guys, this is my final ranking of the worlds. I really did enjoy all of them except for 1, maybe 2, but Angry Aztec and up are all at least good. I had a great time with this game, an easy 8 out of 10, maybe even an 8.5 out of 10, who knows. If you're on Backlogged, be sure to follow me there. I'll have the link in the description. Super fun website where you can log games, etc. But yeah, this is my ranking. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Kind of different from what normally goes up on the channel, but I wanted to talk about these worlds in further depth, and so I did. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day, and take care.